I'm going to try to record the procedure of changing the Java project in IntelliJ to build a jar that includes all the dependencies. So we start out in the POM. There's probably a way to tell IntelliJ how to do this, add this plugin that isn't manual, but I can't find that. I got these instructions from a Java Discord. The first thing we're going to do is to fix this line right here. It's got two copies of the path and the wrong class. So I don't know what this. So let's find out what our class is. Okay, so we can look, you can see my mouse here, we can look for a main class, and it's SSA application. I'm not sure what the slash in business means. I think we can take this out. Well, let's just try this. SSA, and it allows us some choices, and the correct one is that. Okay, so we also need to add another plugin here to build the jar. And this is the code I got from Discord. Here's the plugin right here, Maven Assembly jar with dependencies. So we're going to copy this to the matching and do it from the bottom here. There's the end. You can see it's highlighted above. Let's see if that worked, really. Yep. Okay, so there it is right there. That's the plugin we need to add. So we can copy that. And then paste it in here between plugin and the end of all the plugins. So paste. Now let's see what we got. We got, okay, and this class is wrong. We do want jar main here, and I'll explain that in a moment. So it's windy weather, and then it's screenshot archive, jar main. Okay, those are the changes to the POM file. So let's save that so we don't actually accidentally mess something up. So I think we can use this because I think this plugin is just what's used when we run the program without actually building a jar. And then down here is where we're going to build a jar. Okay, so what about this jar main business? Okay, we're going to have to add a class. The problem appears to be that when you're running a JavaFx program, the jar launcher doesn't like the main class and main entry point to be a JavaFx class. Okay, so we need to put a launcher class in. So we can do that by going here and right-clicking and say new Java class, and the name is jar main, and then we hit enter, and it gives us an empty class, and then we go to code I have before when I did this in a previous project, and we'll just paste the correct thing right in here. So, of course, this is wrong. This is SSA application. Okay, this is just a line that tells us in the console window that we've actually come here before we launched onto the application. So that's all we need for that. And so we did the POM changes. Now, I'm sure there's other ways to do this, but I don't know how to use this panel very well, or at all. But the way, let's see, if we try to build a jar, I think we can do it here. Let's try this and see what happens. Okay, that looks like it succeeded. I expected a long list of dependencies, but maybe they've already been done. Let's see if we've got a target now. We have a target. Somehow we built a jar, but we didn't build a jar with dependencies. Yep, I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Let me go figure that out. I'll be back. We could show this running first, I think. If we just right-click on this and run this, it doesn't work. But somehow that jar main wasn't set correctly. Okay, let me go figure this out. Okay, I figured out the problem. Notice that we have the two jars here now. We have jar snapshot and jar snapshot with dependencies. What I didn't do, and this is not based on documentation, this is based on a Discord chat with somebody, you have to use the lifecycle package function. Now this, as far as I know, is not a matter of editing your POM. The POM we edited, I did get rid of the slash versions. I'm not sure if that made any difference. This version works. Let's see, this is an assembly plugin. Jar with dependencies. This is the plugin that we put in a moment ago. So the main class is net windy weather screenshot archive jar main, which is the tiny little class, that application class that we added as our launcher, if you will. Okay, so that's there. Let's see if I change. And I changed this earlier one too, although I'm not sure it's necessary. This had been pointing to SS application, which is the main application that's always worked when you say current file and launch it without actually building a jar, or a jar that you can see anyway. But this, I just went ahead and did this. Let me see. I don't think this is affects the thing. If I set this to current file and put this on application, the idea is to skip this little wrapper launcher thing. Okay, let's see if this works. And it works. Okay, now if we click on this, so the current file is this little launcher wrapper. Let's try that. And that works. So we can, to debug or develop your code, you can do that either way. It doesn't matter. But we want to build a jar. So what I needed to do to cause that to work is click on package, and then you can either right click and run this, I think. Let's try that. Right. Okay, so you get a bunch of warnings here. It's talking about warnings that it couldn't build the parent of open JavaFx, which of course we don't want it to anyway. That's the entire open JavaFx package. Okay, so anyway, does it say what built? Okay, so it built snapshot jar with dependencies. So that's what we wanted to build. And here it is. Notice that on the way, it also built this. And in a moment, we'll delete both of these and go back and show us that when we do this now, it builds this as well. Let's try to run this and see if this works. There's I don't know what these are. Required fauna detected. Please don't publish this project. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know. I don't understand. Okay. Let's go down here to run. Let's see, where's run? Run. Boom, it works. So we've built a jar. Now, notice that since we're in an environment that contains all the dependencies, we can also run this one. Oh, we can't. That's very interesting. Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Uh, we don't need to be able to run that. We need to be able to run this because this is what we're going to move, distribute as a program that other people can use. And that one works. Okay. So we built a jar for this project.